RiffTrax. Never pick tracks where the riffs are missing. Why you always gotta pick RiffTrax? It's your lucky day, it's time for RiffTrax.
Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And welcome to my review of RiffTrax Terror at Tenkiller, one of my top picks for the best RiffTrax offerings to watch during the spookiest time of the year. Terror at Tenkiller is a cheesy 1986 slasher fic, perfect riffing fodder as most bad horror movies are. It's got info dumps of exposition, terrible dialogue dubbing, confusing if not just downright stupid character motivations, and plenty of bright red paint that's supposed to be blood. So let's not waste any more time and dive right into my review of RiffTrax Terror at Tenkiller. This film gets to the shock and grisly violence right away as we see a woman get her throat slit and her body dumped into a lake. But don't worry, any mystery regarding the killer is completely done away with by the end of the first act. We then cut to a college student named Leslie swimming in a pool and then showering off, because this movie wanted to throw in all the horror cliches at once, I guess. Her friend Jana scares her in this shower, because that's not a totally creepy thing to do to your best friend, and they start in some good old-fashioned exposition. We find that Leslie's fiancé is a tool who goes after other girls, but Leslie doesn't seem to care and plans to get hitched to him anyway. Her fiancé Josh meets them outside of the school and tries to drag Leslie with him. Jana jumps to her defense, and Josh gives a line that's so overblown and obvious it basically guarantees that he's not the killer.
One thing I expect of a good movie, plunge me into near total darkness in the first 20 seconds. Bravo.
Denise, come here!
And yes, a good movie also has a very disturbing abduction scene pretty much as soon as you come in the door.
Welcome to our movie, sir. Here, please enjoy a starter course of nauseating superviolence. What's that, sir? You didn't feel all hope and goodness flee from the world yet? I believe we can accommodate.
Here we go, sir. Yes. There, does that help, sir? That sufficiently combine graphically savage murder with misogynistic overtones and risible D-movie cheesiness? Good. We aim to please and hope you enjoy the second minute of this movie, sir. Gee, Shelley Winters just can't manage to stay inside a boat.
Oh man, at work tomorrow I should make a joke. Hey everyone, Barbara from accounting sleeps with the fishes. Guess I'd have to fill in the fact that she actually is dead and at the bottom of the lake, and then I did it, so maybe not. Oh god, I swallowed another Band-Aid.
The lockers back there seem unnecessarily complicated.
I'm glad the Bates Motel added this pool and locker room recently. It's so convenient.
Stabbity stab!
I just like to terrorize friends when they're mostly nude. Sorry.
I've known him all my life, Jana, and he's always gotten everything he's ever wanted.
Which was mostly a girlfriend who wears bright floral prints.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the Oh, come on.
Listen to your middle-aged college roommate.
Look, he can't make you marry him, can he? Tell him what he can do with it.
But he already paid 8 cows as a dowry.
You're going with me, come on. I want to get packed so I can get on down to the lake in the morning. Let's go.
Okay, but I'm sure not looking forward to this.
They're fun gals.
Yeah.
Hey, Leslie, I want to see you.
I better talk to him. Will you wait for me?
All right, sure.
He is kind of cute, I guess, in a Nazi youth sort of way.
Why have you been acting this way?
Go on, use the poison chapstick I gave you.
Right now.
Stop it, Josh.
I forgot to not be in this movie.
God damn it, Josh, leave her alone!
I'm going to get even with you. And as for you, you haven't heard the last of this. Not by a long shot.
So we're through and I'll never see you again?
Were you even listening?
Leslie ends up admitting that Josh is straight up physically abusive to her and that nobody knows. He even calls her up later to verbally abuse her as well. Jana, unable to watch it anymore, yells at Josh over the phone and insists that she and Leslie head out to the titular Lake Tenkiller to relax far away from Josh, stress, and abuse for the summer. While Leslie agrees to the trip, she says Josh does love her and she just needs to figure things out. They drive out into the country and head out to a diner called The Cove, where Jana knows the owner Charlie, who's short on help since his best waitress just up and disappeared, just around the same time that a murder took place. Huh, wonder where she went. They end up deciding the girls are going to work there for the summer, as Jana has every year since her teens. Despite Leslie having no credentials, she's hired on the spot, and man, if only real-life job interviews were that easy. There's also a guy named Tor who visits the diner, and who just so happens to have dated the woman who up and disappeared. And if film riffing's taught me anything over the years, it's to never trust a guy named Tor.
You're gonna have some wild bruises later.
I'm just glad it wasn't worse. I've been bruised before.
My banana cosplay got rough.
Are you serious? He's never really hit me. He's just come real close.
His aim is terrible, luckily.
Jana, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Wear brighter floral prints, maybe?
I better talk to him.
You don't have to, you know.
I know.
But this is our song playing right now, and it's making me sentimental.
Hello. You just have to give me some more time. That's not it. Don't be so disgusting.
I am not on the toilet right now, perv.
Josh!
Listen, you son of a bitch, you come around here to show your face without an invitation, and I will personally call the police and your parents and tell them exactly what kind of scum you are.
Remember that time I said the same thing to you, Bill?
Oh, yeah.
Turn off
You
that
were
damn
right,
radio.
too. So sorry I asked for that ride to church.
Okay, Les, that's it. I've had it. Look, Les, all I know is there's a time to make your stand and a time to walk away.
And a time to get on with your movie's plot, and that was like 5 minutes
You're
ago.
making your own decisions about it. I just don't understand how you could even think of marrying a creep like that.
Remember when I said the same thing to your wife, Bill?
Yeah, she made a terrible mistake.
The least he would do is make your life miserable. He loves me. I know he does. And I really think I love him too.
So you're right. I should call him and apologize.
No, you're missing my point.
But it's not enough, is it?
So off to Valley Lodge they went.
I don't know what's going to be this summer, but there were a lot of great guys. There's usually some interesting ones working on the boats and stuff. So
You know,
we'll have to
causing
have a
terror
little
and
boat
stuff.
repair.
This being Tenkiller, famous for its local terror.
Oh, well. Here we are.
Here we are, and I'm a little drunk.
Ah, it's neat, huh?
Nature's
It's
Majesty.
beautiful.
It's neat.
What a strange name for a...
Oh, look at that. Breakfast, lunches, catfish.
Yeah, you can get one breakfast or many lunches or catfish, which is unclassifiable as any particular kind of meal.
Hi. Hi.
Ah,
You need to see a minute. Hi, Tor.
How you doing there, Debbie?
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah.
Somebody out here needs to talk to you.
Tor, time for go to bed.
How soon can you start? I've been doing all the cooking myself ever since my good waitress took off somewhere without telling me.
She's a great waitress,
That
but
one
she's
over there
always
might
getting
as well
murdered.
Here for all the good she did. I don't know. Can you cook?
Sure, a little.
well, that's quite a resume. You're hired.
You know anyone with half. No, I'm sure we'll get plenty of your cooking before the summer's over.
But I'm hiring you to cook. Don't go. Now I'm very confused.
Okay, see what...
Hey, Charlie, you haven't heard anything from Denise, have you?
When unemployed
word.
fitness
How about
instructors try to act.
Nothing. Just doesn't seem like something she'd do. You have a fight?
You just point a camera at this guy and watch him work.
Things are kind of cool.
The girls head up to the cabin and start settling in. We see Jana get into her bathing suit, because of course, but she seems to see someone glancing through the window. But like any good slasher movie character, she completely ignores the obvious imminent danger. The girls head down to the lake for some quick frolicking and backstory. It turns out Jana's father, who they talk about as if he's dead, but it's later established that he isn't, had been taking her there every year since he and her mom split up, and now it's the only place she feels safe. Oh, that dramatic irony. Leslie asks to hear the story behind Tenkara Lake's name that Jana's dad just made up. He said an Indian maiden had her sister stolen and killed, so she went on to kill 10 of the thieving tribe's men, ending it with her own death while drowning the 10th man in a lake. And I'm gonna be honest, if someone stole and killed one of my sisters, I would go full John Wick until anyone I even suspected of being involved was dead and buried. So can't say I blame her. Jana explains her dad told her the whole story to say that Indian woman's spirit lives in the lake and protects brave girls from drowning. And I'll take heavy-handed foreshadowing for 500, Alex.
Sure, your 8th grade brother can score our movie.
Tenkiller. Gonna go hang out at Tenkiller. It's the best place to get away from your abusive boyfriend, yeah, and get a job at a roach-infested restaurant, yeah. Tenkiller. Yeah. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, Tenkiller. Bravo, Mike.
So what do you think of it?
It's empty except for that hi-hat player in the corner.
Is this good with the hi-hat, timing-wise? Just kind of winging it while I wait for your feedback. Fargo?
Man, she can look the hell out of a window. The conversation between the two of them as they walked to the lake were then and remain to this day the stupidest words ever uttered by two human beings.
Is it gonna be cold? It's not gonna be cold. It's gonna be so warm.
You lake temperature idiot.
Are you gonna go in? Come on! Jana!
Jumping into a lake! What kind of maniac are you?
Water's great. It is nice. Ooh, color on the bottom. Oh, it's
Well, I say
refreshing.
let the stabbing begin.
Come on, let's swim to the other side.
They drowned.
And I've always felt, I don't know, like the lake is special.
What do you mean?
I guess I really want to get
Never felt
stabbed
safe
here.
anywhere as I do here.
Your mom never came here, did she?
Nope. My dad bought this place so we could be together in the summers when he wasn't teaching.
He taught at Barnum and Bailey
Come
Clown
up here
College.
and spend every morning writing.
How'd that one go?
Well, this Indian girl's little sister was stolen and killed by another tribe. So she got revenge on them by killing 10 of their bravest warriors.
Good God, your dad is a psycho.
Daddy just told me that story because I'd never been swimming in anything besides a pool.
Well,
and I was
that makes
afraid
perfect
to swim in
sense
the
then.
lake because I couldn't
Wait,
see the
what?
bottom. So Daddy said that the Indian girl's spirit lived at the bottom of the lake and protected brave, strong girls like us.
Protected by a mass killer. Sweet.
Silly. See that fisherman over there? Now that's about the most dangerous thing on this lake. Some old fisherman who might come in the cove and try to pinch your ass.
That sounds horrible.
Just relax. Just try to forget about Josh.
Always good advice. Just forget about your threatening abuser.
I'll pinch your ass, I will.
Later that night, the still alive, not best waitress from the Cove gets home from a date, and as a woman home alone in an 80s slasher movie, we all see where this is going. But not only are we about to get a gratuitous death, it all takes place in a hot tub because the director demanded more beswimsuited women in his art. And if the scene in the diner didn't make it easy enough to figure out, the movie decides to just flat out show us that Tor's the killer. Because who needs tension and third act twist structure when you can just shoot the scene lazily and show the dude's face only 20 minutes in? And to add insult to injury, he kills a lady with her own knife that was serendipitously inches from his grasp. In the morning, Jana and Leslie go out to Jana's boat on the lake, and it turns out that, along with the pervy old dude named Preacher, Tor works at the marina too, because of course he does. All the more convenient to kill our protagonists. Tor warns Preacher to leave the girls alone, and had we not already known that he was the murderer, this could help build Tor up as a good guy looking out for the girls. Therefore, it would be more impactful later discovering he's the killer. But who cares about thoughtful storytelling when we have bikini shots and fake Indian legends?
So anyway, I'm an Indian princess. You want to go for a swim?
Bye-bye now.
Had to mace that guy dozens of times. Better refill this thing.
She lives in a 16th century Scottish fort.
I should run out and get some window treatments. This place is just a magnet for slashers. Oh, what happened on that day that she immediately has to hop in a bubbling cauldron of hot water? Kinda spoils things when you learn she's just going in to pull out a 3-foot tangle of hair and dead mice from the drain trap.
That piercing 100-watt fluorescent shining directly in my eyes is so relaxing. The jean jackets are coming from inside the house!
So he was the killer all along!
What a first act twist.
Tor, what did you...
Well, if you have to get horribly murdered, I can't think of a better place than a nice, relaxing hot tub.
Huh? Looky here, isn't that convenient? Most of my murder scenes don't offer a cheese plate.
Oh, well, my boat's over there in berth 18. Would you get it for us and gas it up?
I can't let this boat out unless I know I'm giving it to the right party.
I can't use my own real voice, neither.
My name is Jana McKinney.
Look where you stand, Leslie. You don't want to fall in the lake.
Or get stabbed and strangled in a hot tub.
Did you say his name was Tor?
That's what I said.
I know a Martian robot named Tor.
What are you going to do about this? Call me Preacher.
Preacher? Why do they call you that?
I guess 'cause my daddy named me that, among other things.
There's Tor with the boat.
Oh, wait, I want to know the other things Preacher's daddy named him.
Well, I'm guessing rabbi, tuck pointer, clevis pin, shoehorn, and occasionally Senator Edmund Muskie, among other things.
I'll call down to here, and as soon as I can get away, I'll come by and take a look at it.
Well, thanks. We sure will.
Well, time to die.
You girls be careful.
Guess I'll have to keep an eye on him. Maybe I'll keep 2 eyes on him.
Maybe you'll keep my
just
sweaty
watch
man
it,
tits
old
on
man.
him.
If you're half as smart as you think you are, you'll stay on this side of the lake.
If he was half as smart as he thinks he is, he'd be a flatworm.
Josh calls Leslie and she finally tells him off, followed by Jana doing the same and telling him that she'll tell his parents he abuses Leslie, though she probably should have done that and called the cops about the domestic violence the moment she found out about it. Charlie then calls up and works out the girl's schedule to start on Monday, since now his not-best waitress disappeared too. Preacher then shows up with some fish and asks for an invitation inside, which Jana is thankfully too smart to take him up on. He then starts peeping on Jana when Tor comes up and rightfully tells Preacher just how disgusting he is, albeit in a creepy way. Preacher pulls a knife on Tor, and remember, Preacher doesn't know he's a killer, only we do as an audience. So this dude is like, I told you not to try and hurt these girls, you obvious sexual predator, and Preacher's immediate first move is to threaten him with a knife. Tor may be a cold-blooded killer, but this particular victim probably had it coming to him. And Tor not only guts Preacher, but ends up filleting him with his own knife.
Made me put up.
I'll get it.
Oh, thanks. I'm busy trying to be sexy and probably the first one to get killed.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney.
Oh, hi, Josh.
Oh, come on, just humor me a little.
No, I'm not going to tell you where I am, and please don't try to find me.
Here at Tenkiller Lake. Oh,
You know, you don't scare me anymore because you sound just like what you've always been. A spoiled, overgrown brat who likes to push people around.
that's how you hang up on a charity call.
Hello?
Look, we don't have any more clothes to
What do you want?
donate.
Leave us alone, asshole, or I'm going to tell your mommy and daddy that their little boy likes to beat up on women.
And that's how you hang up on Sean Penn.
Damn it, Josh, I'm warning you. Hi, Charlie.
What's that? Berate you more?
Sorry about that.
You're taking your what off?
Have I ever let you down?
Okay, that one time, yeah. Then two, yep.
Okay.
So I always let you
Well, I'll
down.
come in early Monday morning and tell her to come. All you have to do is cook up a few burgers and maybe serve some pie and coffee.
Pine
What about
coffee?
the dinner crowds? What about weekends?
Now, that's a little different. But we'll work something out before then.
The real terror at Tenkiller? Waitressing
So,
shift discussions.
You and Josh?
Hello? Can you both shut up? I can hear you clear across the lake.
Oh, I just brought you girls some fish. They're all cleaned and filleted and
Old.
won't have to worry about it.
Found it on the highway.
Well, thanks. Oh, so you must be the guy we see fishing around here all the time.
Yeah, that's me. You'll liable to see a hell of a lot more of me, too.
I'm an amateur nudist.
Well, thanks, Preacher.
But soft, what light through that there window breaks? My new girlfriend, but she don't know it yet. Whoa, hang on now, she's pulling off her top. I probably shouldn't be here now, but damn, she makes me want to violate parole. Instead, I'll fire me up a Camel Light and tear it till my beer buzz starts to fade. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, and make it so that I can get me some. But not her maid. Oh, crap, she killed the light. Now what the hell am I supposed to do? I'm hornier than a 50-piece brass band. Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied? Guess I'll head back and fap to Miss July.
Shakespeare's famous Crackers soliloquy.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Who the hell's out there?
Yeah, who dares to encroach on Preacher's private stalking time?
Your kind never does mean any harm.
What do you mean, my kind?
Peace Corps volunteers?
I mean the kind of man that sees something perfect and new and beautiful, then covers it with his filth.
Oh, like a performance artist.
You heard what I said, old man.
Yeah, I heard. And I'm old.
And pretty filthy.
I'm too old. Shit.
Damn you, Preacher, you promised you'd give that fish to me.
I told you to stay on your side of the lake.
Okay, lesson
Listen
learned.
to me, would you?
Ow.
No. White trash, huh?
You and your boneless forearms.
Leslie wakes up in the middle of the night and heads outside by herself in the middle of a place she barely knows to head out to a dock in her nightgown. Jana sneaks up behind her and they find a small boat parked right outside their house, and Jana tells her not to worry, even though Leslie thought she heard someone playing music out there as well. Despite there very clearly being another human being in their vicinity on a lake where 2 waitresses have disappeared in a week, they just go back to bed. The next day, the girls go out to have some generic fun on the town, and Tor leaves a threatening message on their ancient answering machine. Jana assumes that it was Josh who sent the message, which isn't a bad guess given his track record. Tor shows up and chats with Jana, who gives him some of Leslie's backstory that we already know, since it's one of only about 3 topics the characters in this film ever discuss. Jana shares the message with Leslie, who can't tell if it's Josh in the recording or not, and delivers this scene so flatly it's almost incomprehensible, given how much trouble she's undoubtedly in.
I forgot to turn off the oven and not to be in a terrible low-budget horror movie!
It's apparently lit with a built-in light on a Kindle Paperwhite.
Okay, I think someone was writing the screenplay in real time. Yes, I'll have the next scene for you in 40 seconds, and I'll just shoot... Okay, woman aimlessly wanders outside for no reason.
Somebody's gonna really let you have it. Why didn't you call out to me?
I don't know.
Guess I'm just kind of poorly written and devoid of realistic motivation.
What are you doing out here? Let's get back up to the house before the mosquitoes eat us alive.
Slight itching from bug bites. Terror at Tenkiller!
Ah!
What'd you hear? I think it was a harmonica. I'm not really sure.
So I did what everyone does when they're not sure if they heard a harmonica. Silently leave the house and walk out on the dock.
Let me just turn this thing on.
Good Lord, did Alexander Graham Bell invent that thing before the telephone?
Thing always needs a few moments to warm up the wax cylinder it records all the messages on.
I'm not in right. And you'll fall madly in love with Preacher.
Pretty sick considering they just got back from IDing his body at the morgue.
Between the heat and the food,
Leslie, it's for you.
Well, the least I can do is offer you a cold beer. You got some time?
Sure, it's...
Oh, I didn't mean sit down like that.
Cancel the beers.
Seriously, what the man?
Did Preacher ever come back today?
No, he's probably sleeping it off somewhere.
Yeah. He told us he had a weakness for booze and women.
She's
He showed up
charmed
here
by the
last
alcoholic
night,
pervert.
supposedly to give us some fish.
This pretty nice place.
This
Thanks.
pretty nice place?
I think so.
Did he get
It's
elocution
really what I
lessons
think
from
of
Rod
when I
of
think of
Birdemic?
home.
Charlie told...
She's got a scumbag of a boyfriend who's really been giving her a hard time lately. Oh, and she takes everything much too seriously.
Yeah, she should lighten up about his threats, rage,
I
and
don't know.
infidelity.
He's just a small... But sometimes I think she's just a born victim.
Like Wile E.
can I
Coyote
get you
or
another beer?
anybody from Cleveland.
No, thanks. I better be getting...
Okay, I'll be burning that chair he was sitting on.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi, Leslie. You look so sexy. Your
Hi,
boyfriend
girls.
did not hit you, and our creepy neighbor just stopped by.
Yeah.
This movie's the room now.
But I really think you need to hear this.
I made our answering machine message like George Costanza's. It's hilarious.
I just can't tell.
Play it 89 more times.
It's really scary.
Yes, you appear quite shaken.
He's just trying to scare you. Or me. Or both of us.
Thanks for spelling out every scenario there.
Leslie has a nightmare about Josh coming to kill her, but in the last few shots, she's replaced with Jana. So I guess she's worried Josh will kill Jana because she's been defending her. You know, if Leslie was played by an actress with an ounce of skill, this sort of scene could work to see why she would stay with someone like Josh. She's afraid he'll hurt the others she loves if she leaves him, as real manipulators twist their actual abuse victims into thinking, living in fear like there's no way out without someone getting hurt. But in this movie, with this writing and this cast, it just comes off as virtually meaningless. Leslie wakes up to a love-struck yet sinister phone call, thinks it's Josh, and calls Jana at the diner to give her the details. But she's openly unafraid, literally the opposite of what I thought the nightmare scene was trying to convey, so again, that whole thing was utterly meaningless. She then takes her sweet, sweet time to wander to the diner and tell Jana that she's decided to make changes in her life. Also, Mike riffs mistakenly that Jana wasn't in the dream when she actually was the one stabbed in it. Granted, I almost missed it myself, but knowing how many times these films have to be rewatched to be riffed, it's funny that they totally missed the switch with Jana's short hair in the last few shots.
Wait, that noise is supposed to be a harmonica? I couldn't slip a hobo a nickel to get a recording of Go Tell Aunt Rhody?
Do you want me to come down there, or are you throwing handfuls of bread to invisible ducks?
Nice try, lady. We've all seen Home Alone. That's just a cutout of Michael Jordan.
It looks like he's constantly just released a dove in a cheesy magic act.
That's not a knife.
Thank you, Crocodile.
That's not a knife. That's not a knife. My knives were never good enough, were they, Mother?
Oedipally disturbed Crocodile Dundee, everyone.
I'm so spending next summer at Crystal Lake. Bet it's much calmer up there.
Josh, is that you? Stop it, Josh. Just stop it. I know it's you, and I'm...
Well, sure, I'll hold.
Jana? You called again.
I'm strongly considering the idea of maybe telling the police if he does it a few more times.
The last thing he said was, forever mine.
I think he was just reading random sentences off of Candy Hearts.
I think it was him. I feel funny, but I'm not really scared at all. I don't know why.
Hey, it's 'cause you're an idiot.
Ah, good. Looks like we're gonna get the entire walk to the restaurant in real time.
Terror at time filler.
Nothing says fear like a casual stroll in broad daylight.
Hey, she's there. Now just walk in and... oh, okay. All right, sure. Ignore the front door and head for the back entrance. Take your time. Maybe realize you forgot your Tic Tacs at the cabin and head back over the bridge to get your Tic Tacs as long as we see it all.
Well, you sure are calm about it. I thought you would be really upset.
Be upset, damn it. I'm bored.
I guess I had this horrible dream last night. I don't really remember what happened, but you were in it, and Josh.
Well, you weren't really in it as much as you were not in it at all.
I don't know what all this means, but I feel I've got to do something about it.
Well, hallelujah, sister. It's about time.
About time you stopped talking. I was about to hang myself.
And I think that's exactly what he's... Come on into the kitchen, and I will transform you into a world-class short-order cook and waitress.
Oh, God. I hope my boyfriend kills me soon.
Tor shows up at the diner that afternoon, and there's some small talk before Jana leaves him and Leslie alone, and they start talking about Josh. Tor asks why she hasn't called the cops, and again, as with him telling off Preacher for being so gross earlier, I uncomfortably find myself in the position of siding with the killer, which is a concerning thing I didn't expect to have to be dealing with today. I guess that just because you're a murderer doesn't mean you can't have some logical points of view. After they finish discussing Leslie's sad situation for the umpteenth time in this movie, Tor heads out and Jana goes to the lake for a relaxing solo afternoon. She falls asleep on the dock, and next thing we know, it's the dead of night with Tor on the way, and Leslie inexplicably still not home yet, even though the Cove hasn't had any customers in, like, literally any scene.
It's good to sit down for a while. I think I'm out of shape for this job.
Yeah, diner waitresses are typically in peak physical
I
condition.
thought I'd stick around for a while.
Triathletes.
Hey, Tor, you want to come over and sit with us?
Sure.
Let me just step out of the ADR booth.
Hey, Jenna, how you doing?
Fine.
Tor is Joey
How are
from
you?
Friends?
Is Preacher back?
Preacher? No, he's
Yeah.
dead. I mean, he's not alive. I mean, I killed
Good.
Preacher.
Then maybe you'll have time.
Jana, really, why don't you go on home? I'll be okay.
Well, I didn't think you'd want to stay here alone.
Cock block at Tenkiller.
To stop thinking. Jana, I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
Enough. Tor, kill them both, please.
I could use a nap and a swim. I'll come pick you up at closing time. And don't you forget to come by the house for that beer.
Well, I don't know. You go get some rest.
Give everyone a
All
break from your
See y'all later.
smarminess.
Bye. He's just calling up and saying weird things. You know, like...
Time is a flat circle, that kind of thing. He's gone all true detective on
Can't you
me.
call the police or something?
It would really hurt a lot of other people.
Well, what about you? Don't you get hurt?
Spoken like a guy who plays acoustic guitar in the quad to
Well, I
impress
think
girls.
This just must be one of the...
Leslie, you're so beautiful you shouldn't have to worry about some guy that wants to hurt you.
But ugly chicks deserve
have it,
abuse,
man, that you
says
want.
sensitive Tor.
Well, that's a really sweet thing to say, Tor.
We're really in this movie, huh?
Yeah, we are.
Help! I've been stranded here for days! Why do you always just look at me and smirk? I'm injured and very hungry!
all the cinematic splendor of an educational short on boating safety.
Save me, Guardiana!
Like rain falling on a lake, so does this film waste our lives.
An actress takes a relaxing break in the middle of a film shoot.
Wait, you've been filming this? Oh, God, why? Well, time to check the pier for women who take unbelievably long naps on cold wooden docks that last well into the night. No luck in 3 years, but maybe this time.
Tor?
Chew.
Tor plays nice and gets Jana to take him into the cabin for a beer, and he starts playing his harmonica while she washes her hair in the sink for some reason. Jana doesn't even react when he starts undoing the strap on her top, only to scream when he puts a hand on her. Like, where did you think him undoing your top was gonna lead? He takes a kitchen knife and quite literally stabs her in the back, and it's just uncanny how this murderer goes into the killings with no weapon, and there's just a knife right within his reach every single time. We then see that Josh has been stalking Leslie this whole time and has pinpointed Tenkiller Lake as where she must be. He then heads out to do something horrible to Leslie, I'm sure. Speaking of Leslie, she heads out to the dock to find Jana's body in the boat and Tor's waiting arms. She suspects nothing, thinking Josh had gotten even with Jana like he said he would, and Tor takes her up to the cabin. And if you couldn't tell by the editing here, we now are supposed to hope Josh gets there in time because Leslie's about to be killed, which, since murder is considered a worse fate than abuse, makes him marginally better than Tor, and therefore has to be Leslie's hero in the end.
Jana.
What's a dumber name than Jana?
Tor.
Ah, yes!
God, must have fallen asleep. When are you going to be able to get the part for our boat?
I'll have to order it.
I'll go down to Toshi's station with my friend Biggs, get some power converters.
Probably a couple of days.
Huh. Guess this ain't one of them fancy newfangled houses with a shower.
Wait, they're even using ADR for the harmonica?
Synth harmonica ADR at that.
I cannot accept this.
I don't know, maybe it's not a harmonica. Maybe he's just licking a box cutter.
That would somehow make more sense.
Oh, seriously, Rapunzel, your hair is like 4 inches long tops. Let's wrap this up. They should really make a full-size sink that you can step into and wash your whole body. Much more convenient. Spring break. Woo.
Tor, what are you doing?
I got Palmolive in my eyes.
Let me go! Tor!
He stumps investigators into thinking an injured orangutan stabbed her. And Bill Hicks orders the hit on Dennis Leary.
Terror at Tenkiller, the dirty ashtray of cinema.
All I want to do is get inside, change out of my work clothes, and take a long, hot soak in the kitchen sink.
God, can't Jenna make a simple can of tomato soup without getting it everywhere?
You're listening to the Abusive Boyfriend Power Hour on 92.3 K-Rock. Coming up, Ike Turner, Jackson Brown, John Denver, James Brown, John Lennon, Merle Travis, and Rick James. Special guest, Phil Spector will be joining me in the studio right after this.
Who's going to take care of the lunch crowd?
Dad is dead! Josh has killed her!
Calm down, calm down.
Are you serving apple pie tomorrow?
The house to check on the...
You know, there's a perfectly good fry cook named Charlie that could save the day. But no, we've got to root for this douche.
I'll be right here.
Leslie grabs her keys and wonders where the harmonica came from when Tor starts playing it again. Leslie, unlike most horror protagonists, instantly realizes he's the killer and asks why. Tor says it's because Leslie's perfect and that he wants her all to himself. So, why did he murder the 2 waitresses? I mean, he killed one of them before he even knew Leslie existed. She slashes him with her keys and flees, but can't open the car door. You know, with the keys she just used to slash his face with. And she tries to hide in the shed, only to find Preacher's dismembered body inside. This results in a chase through the woods with the worst score ever put to film, while Josh heads into the cabin. Leslie circles back and finds Josh's car outside the house. Thinking she's been saved, she rushes in to find that his throat's been cut. So much for the big rescue. Tor strangles her till she's unconscious, and he takes her body to the middle of the lake. But just as he's about to dump her in, Leslie drags him in with her. Get it? Just like the Indian in the story. And she ends up swimming to safety while Tor ends up drowning. Or did he? And Leslie goes on, droning a last few lines of dialogue, completely unemotional, as if she didn't just find the corpses of her best friend and lifelong boyfriend.
Yep, Tor just screams harmonica player.
Wonder where Josh is.
He could be anywhere.
Boise, the Alamo, Crystal Bernard's sinuses, anywhere.
Tor, now's not the time to warp through Hyrule.
Yours? Why?
She was asking for it.
Even though she already has a tambourine.
You know she was. And she was getting in the way.
In the way?
Yes, in the way of me being able to use the damn sink.
I won't let them.
Oh, sorry, thought you were Vincent Vega's Malibu.
He'll follow standard slasher protocol and let her have a 300-yard lead before flanking her.
Show me one tool shed that doesn't have that.
She just remembered Jana still has her scrunchie.
Huh. You're not very bright, are you?
Josh is here. Leslie is safe temporarily.
Tor be like wood nymph cloaked in shadow.
He managed a crappier rescue attempt than Dick Halloran in The Shining.
Oh, Josh, you were the second worst man in my life.
Didn't I fix it so that Joshua would never hurt you again?
Just then she trips over Josh's corpse and breaks her ankle. Nothing more romantic than a moonlit boat trip with an unconscious woman on the rebound.
And Jason Voorhees sleeps on the boat! Ah! Sorry. Figured we'd have to make our own terror at Tenkiller by now.
Yeah, there hasn't been much terror, has there? Here, I'll try to add some. And Cthulhu rises from the deep and destroys humanity!
Ooh, that was good. Let me do one. Okay, here goes. And the actor who plays Tor goes on to have an illustrious career, appearing in over 120 movies and TV shows, including Fight Club, X-Files, and Breaking Bad.
Oh, man. Wow, there's your terror.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Whew.
And he's foiled by a first-week karate lesson by Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, why'd I have to get the heaviest harmonica on the market?
What the hell is this transparent fluid that's always surrounding the very equipment I presumably spent my whole life learning how to fix?
Being a swimmer saved my life.
Even though Phil
Poor
Collins
Jana.
would not lend a hand.
Sometimes I think that the Indian maiden Jana told me about pulled Tor under and revenge. We'll never know.
We'll never know why a
Police
fable 3
investigation
sentences
wasn't
long
able
had
to
more
solve the
plot
mystery
than this
Tor's
movie.
background.
Oh God, so much water went up my nose. My underwear is bunching up. There's a film all over my skin, and I think a bluegill touched my arm. I hate the lake.
But not as much as I hate terror at Tenkiller.
There's several good reasons why I put this riff at number 2 on my best Halloween RiffTrax list a few years back. This film has every horror cliche you can think of, but they're delivered poorly even for a cheesy flick like this. I can't even fathom why they show us right away that the killer's Tor, why he kills the waitresses, and why they let the leads think Josh is the dangerous one while fully letting us, the audience, know that he's not the monster to worry about. So many of the plot points, for as weak as they are, could have easily been improved with like 1 or 2 rewrites of the script and some better acting. But such is life with these bad movies. As always, thank y'all so much for watching, and big thanks to all of my ghoulish Patreon supporters, including Jackie Ball and Kevin Nata. I have at least one more big, fun October appropriate offering planned, and I hope you've been enjoying the ones I've put out so far. I know I've definitely enjoyed making them. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys later.
Time for